Check. 1, 2, check, check. 1, 2, check, check. Check, check. Moving the microphone a little closer to me. You can definitely hear the sound going on in the background, or the air. I don't care. It's too hot outside to have it off, so I'm keeping it cool in here. Let's see what I've done. Move this out of the way. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I have been going live earlier the last 2 weeks. This is my second week of the 4 o'clock time slot. I think last week it went a lot better than it usually does, only because I usually go live about 8:30 or so after the kids go to bed, and either people just aren't up that late, or they don't get notified, or something. So I'm going live from 4 to 5 on Tuesday afternoons. I can go a little bit longer if we're getting a lot of activity and lots of questions and stuff. But for today, I got some family obligations to take care of. So if I can end this at 5, that would be great. And all that. So currently, let's see if y'all can guess what modeler I'm playing through at the moment. And it's not a head rush. I'll give you that. It's not a head rush. But that should be up loud enough for everybody. I will bring down maybe my microphone just a little bit, and then turn up my headphones so I can hear things louder, but it's not so loud on your end. So, but I would love it if you had any questions for me to answer. Then we can talk about recording stuff, audio gear, whatever you want. Let me go do something here. Let me mute that. Mute that. I'm trying to see if there's other microphones that are open that I could be muting, but I'm not seeing any. Mod, head rush, 9 through 12. Yeah, any guesses on what modeler I'm playing through? Let me go to a clean tone here. So I did just push a button, which I don't know if that means anything to you. It's a little loud in my ears. Let me turn down my headphones a little bit more. But I don't want it to be loud on your end either, so maybe just turn it down a notch right here. Okay. I do have a compressor, I have a compressor. See, what happens is when you try to go to say compression, but you end up saying compressor, then it just comes out compressor or something. I don't know. It's weird. I have a compressor, a deluxe reverb amp model, a tube screamer, a top secret overdrive, which is hush hush. I have a delay, a swell type delay thing going on, and I think it's just a basic reverb. So nothing too crazy. Oh, and there is a tremolo in here. Let me kick that on. That should be a dead giveaway right there. Here lately, I have been experimenting with some different clean amp options. But honestly, the Deluxe Reverb model on any amp modeler should sound pretty good. I'm really just going for a good clean sound. Then I can kick in any amount of dirt that I want. So for example, here's my clean on the bridge pickup. This is a Kiesel Lyra, L-Y-R-A, Lyra. And I only got it because this flame maple top with the sunset burst is literally just gorgeous. And it just looks amazing, right? And then the neck feels really good. It's just a nice roasted maple neck. Nothing too crazy. You know, the back is nice. This is an alder body, two-piece alder body. It does have stainless steel frets. It has Allen Holdsworth pickups on it, and it's just butter. You can also pull the tone knob up and down, and you can tap the coils to get more of a single coil sound. Here's the middle position, which is really like very stratty, that 2 and 4 position on a Strat. And then on the neck pickup, so I really feel like out of all the guitars I've ever owned or have currently, this is a very versatile guitar. You can get the humbucker tones, you can get the single coil tones, and it looks amazing. This model usually has a bevel delete, or it has a bevel on it, but this one is a bevel delete, so you don't have the extra scarfing or beveling in this area. That you do have a nice bevel here on the arm rest, so it doesn't cut into your arm. It's just very nice. So if you're looking for a new guitar, which you probably need like a hole in your head, anything Kiesel is really good. I highly suggest the Delos if you're into the S-style, Stratty type body styles. This is a variation on a Strat. The lower horn doesn't come out as far as what a normal Strat does. So this is a nice variation, and as you can see, you can get, you know, very nice tops on it. You can get a plain top, you can get solid black, you can get whatever color, you know, just you can kind of go crazy with these Kiesels and customize them however you want. But they have T-style guitars. They have, you know, super Strat style bodies and pickup configurations and everything else. But all right, here's a top secret overdrive, which I can't tell you what it is. Okay, then if I kick in a tube screamer, we get this. And there's an option with the Kiesel to either get a hip shot trim or a Godo trim. And this one came with a Godo trim. And I'm very glad it did. I mean, the hip shot ones are great too, but this one, it's just very smooth. They all feel great. So. So anyone watching right now, leave your name and your location so I can learn where you're from and who you are. And just ask any question that you want. It doesn't matter if it's about recording, about guitars, amps, pedals, maulers, audio interfaces. I mean, anything about gear. This is a talk about gear live streams. This is kind of what I'm here for. So I would appreciate any involvement if you want it. So. Go back to our deluxe sound. Yes, there's a little bit of compression on there. You can definitely hear the compression working. Just kind of boost everything and keeps it out in front. Middle position on the pickup. And then here's the neck. Yeah, it's nice. Here's the same thing without the compression. Turn this thing off. Back to neck. And then, excuse me, I've been waking up really early. Here's the coal tapped. It kind of makes sense to have the compression on for those kind of sounds. So turn it back on. Just helps to smooth everything out. Middle position. And then bridge pickup. Yeah, so spread the word about the Tac-O-Bout Gear live stream. It is going to be Tuesdays from 4 to 5, unless there's just some, event happening that alters me from going live on Tuesdays at 4. But I am trying the new earlier time slot, so subscribe to the channel, click the bell, you'll be notified when I go live. I do use Ecamm Live for my live streams, so I'll need to figure out a way to schedule those ahead of time. My friend Aaron Short does something very similar, so I just need to see, ask him what he does on his end to make that happen. But okay, back to my top secret overdrive here. I did recently clean the studio a bit. I was going to have a friend over from out of town. They just kind of contacted me last minute. I am really sorry. And I was like, oh crap, the studio's a mess. So I came up here, cleaned it all up, and then he texted saying, oh, sorry, we can't come by after all because we got to, go back home. So now the studio is back to being clean after being not so organized the last, few weeks. So I still have my guitars, some Kiesel guitars over here. I have you can't really see it. They got the drum kit back there, the F Note 5 with expanded extra tom and extra crash cymbal. They sound really good. And then, wow, I'm tired. I got the piano back here. I got a couch over here with some side tables. Who is here? And we got that Fender FR12 with the Toemaster Pro. I have a headrest right here. I have a Kemper. I have a Helix. Still haven't told you what I've been playing through yet, though. And I got a Blue Guitar Amp 1 with a Nano Cab. So lots of ways to amplify my guitar and get cool guitar sounds. And if you are interested in learning more about any of these kind of units, I already have a video series ongoing on my channel. So if you're interested in the Kemper, the Helix, the Toemaster Pro, the headrest, I did have the Fractal units, but I sold those off. They're great units. They're really, really good. But at this point, I'm not a touring musician, and the Fractal stuff was just a little on the complicated side as far as like, you know, dialing things in. And for the money that you have invested in those units, you could spend the same money and get something way easier to use. So that's my kind of my personal opinion. I mean, I would love to have a FM3 now that they've added the gapless switching. Who knows, after I sell off some guitars and free up some cash, I might invest in another FM3. I don't really know if I need to have the turbo or even the MK2. I could probably just find a used FM3 on Marketplace for, I don't know, $700 or something. And that would be just fine. Because you can still upgrade the firmware, even though it's a non-Mark II or turbo unit. And now that Fractal has gapless switching, that means that you can now go between a preset to another preset and have all the tails of your reverb and delay spill over. And you can also switch between 4 different amp channels. So you can go from a deluxe to a Mezza Boogie to a Soldano to a Bogner or anything in between and have 0 gap in between your switching. So what that means is, another thing it means is this. You can, even though you have 3 switches on the FM3, let me actually go to let me go to the Fractal website so you can kind of see what I'm dealing with here. So fractalaudio.com, and let's do this one. Is this right? Kind of, but I'm upside down. Oh no, I'm upside down. Now we need to go here. There we are. I'm not upside down anymore, folks. Let me move this over. Let's do that kind of thing. All right, cool. So FM3, right? Let me move this up here. Different part of the screen. All right, so products, we're going to go to FM3. Yes, there's a turbo. Yes, there's an MK2 version with bigger scribble strips, all the stuff. So what we're looking at here is essentially you have the option to have presets, scenes, or effects. But each one of these switches can actually do double duties. You can either hold or tap multiple times and get the different scenarios. So if I had it on presets, I could have 3 presets across the 3 switches and then hold down the right 2 switches to bank up, or hold down the left 2 switches to bank back down. And so that way I could just have all my presets in a set list and then just bank up and down to get to 3 additional sounds at any given time. Or you can go to your scenes and you can then have 8 different scenes within a preset. And you could have scenes 1 and 2 on the first switch, scenes 3 and 4 on the next switch, just by hitting it. Or you can hold to get to another scene. And then maybe on the last switch, you can either have scenes, or you can add an external foot switch of some kind. So you can, I like to access my tuner and my tap tempo on a switch if I can. And having that additional little side, just additional switch would be a good option. And it would keep things really small. So I could technically have an FM3 on a board with an additional foot switch to get to my tap tempo and my tuner, and then add my expression pedal, which I have somewhere over here, fractal expression pedal, which I did not sell off because this is a really good expression pedal. And basically have a very small, compact fractal setup that's not as big as the FM9, and definitely not as big as the Axe FX and the FC12 foot switch. Even though that foot switch was really, really nice, I probably shouldn't have sold that foot switch because you can always get the FM3 unit and then add the FC12 foot switch to it. And now you have the option to use the FM3 as your head and now control everything on that unit with the FC12 foot switch. And that could technically all fit within one of my backpacks or a, whatever. But I don't need the fractal stuff just because I don't play live. I do jam sessions every once in a while. And the tones I'm getting from my Headrush, from my Helix, the Kemper, the Toemaster Pro, they're all great tones. And if you have a fractal and you're happy with fractal, that's great. If you like the flexibility that fractal offers you, that is great as well. But for me, I just didn't see the need to keep the fractal stuff when I could just free up that cash and know that I have all these awesome tones still at my disposal across other units. So there you go. That's my thought process on fractal stuff, and why it's good for some people, but me at this time in my life, I don't need. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4. I already have 4 major maulers. I don't really need a 5th one, and I have fractal presets on my website that you can download for a one-time fee. But it's not like those are flying off the shelves. So I'm not really known for the fractal stuff I hear on the channel. I'm really known more for like the Headrush type of content. So if you want fractal content, then you can go watch Leon Todd or literally anybody else that does fractal content. Because clearly you're not coming to my channel to watch fractal stuff. So. Okay, but I like that look. That's pretty good. Let's go back here. All right, so let's give it this reveal the mauler I'm currently playing through. I'm now playing through the Helix floor, and this is the Platinum Edition. You can't see it because it's right here. And but I have an extra large cable run through the back, and it's plugged into my interface, and that's how you're hearing it now. And the overdrive that I have, I got a little smudge on my guitar. I got smudges, man. No, not the smudges. It's honestly too pretty to have smudges on it. So just take a gander at it one more time. That thing is sick. It's really sick. Yeah, I like it. So the Platinum Edition from Line 6, it's just a cool looking edition, but it doesn't sound any better than the black one or any other color that they've come out with. It does have the built-in treadle, so you can control wah-wahs and volumes and whammies and stuff like that. And right now I just have a very basic preset set up. So it does have the deluxe reverb amp model, which is what you're hearing now. After I turn off the overdrive. And I do have the option to run this through a Laney LFR12, which is a great FR speaker cab. It does have two handles on it for a reason, because it's not really big, but relatively it's bigger than some of the other options. And it's a little deeper, so it just makes it awkward to lift. So you kind of do have to have two hands to lift it up. Otherwise, unless you're just really strong and you can pick it up with one handle, which is on the side of it, not in the middle of it, and you can still carry your guitar and maybe a backpack and other things into the gig. So honestly, for portability reasons, the LFR is not the greatest. I would suggest the Fender FR12 or getting one of the smaller Headrush 108 speakers. Because even the bigger Headrush, the FR12 speaker, it's just big. It also has two handles for a reason. It's just a big monster of a speaker. And if you want to travel light, then do not get the 12, get the 108. But I do suggest getting the Fender FR12. It's sitting right back here. It's really not that big. It's about the same size as a Hot Rod Deluxe, if you've ever seen those kind of amps. And then if you want to go something a little bit smaller, you can get the FR10, which is probably just a little bit bigger than a Blues Junior size amplifier or a size combo amp. So either one of those would be fine. But I do not suggest these days really to get the Headrush 12 speaker or the Laney LFR, even though they sound great. If you're worried about size, then I wouldn't get that. I would just get the FR12 from Fender or the FR10 or the Headrush 108. And those are good size options for anyone out there that wants a portable way to amplify their Mahler or any other line level option. So okay, so kinky comp on the Helix here for the compressor. Almost did again, the compressor, not the compressor. And it's on a deluxe reverb amp. And then I do have the Top Secret OD, which I can't remember what that model is. But it just has a nice, good overdrive / distortion sound that I felt was decent. So here's the Top Secret OD. Okay, and then I can kick on the Scream 808, which is a Tube Screamer 808 kind of deal. And honestly, that is between those three sounds, the clean deluxe, the Top Secret overdrive, and the 808. Not the Kick 808, but the Tube Screamer 808. There's three stacking options that sound really good. I could probably add one more overdrive and do like a really, really low gain, very level mid-range, like more of a transparent overdrive, like the Timmy or maybe the Klon or something like that, because the Tube Screamer by itself doesn't really sound all that great for what it's used for. Let me try something different here. right, so here's the 808 with a level all the way up. That's actually not too bad. When the level was down, it wasn't pushing the amp enough. So therefore, it was just too much mid-range. It didn't sound all that great. It's like my desk is still holding in there. So you really have 4 different tones you can choose. You got the clean deluxe reverb amp. You have the tube screamer on. You have just the top speaker overdrive on, or you can have the tube screamer and the top speaker overdrive on, and that gives you 4 different sounds at your disposal. So between those 4, I mean, you can really do all kinds of stuff that you want. Here's the simple delay, which is just simple. Neck pickup. Okay, that sounds good. Here's the auto volume echo, which is what made me fall in love with Line 6 like 20 years ago. They had the DL4, the green delay pedal, and that had the auto volume echo sound on it. It was just glorious. So you got this natural swell to every note, but it also has a delay on there, so it just kind of rings out more. Something like that. And then we have the Opto Tremolo. And that's honestly good enough for me right there. So whether I'm jamming, whether I'm trying to record stuff here in the studio, those sounds should be able to get me pretty far for what I want to do. Now on the Toemaster Pro, I actually have a Mesa Boogie Mayhem preset set up. Because you can add, as great as the Helix is, the Toemaster Pro is just that next level up. One, because it does have a touchscreen. 2, you can add way more blocks into your preset. So you can have like literally 6 amp heads and, you know, tons of delays and reverbs, tons of overdrives, and really not run out of juice all that quickly. So what am I trying to say here? Yeah. I basically have a very similar setup on that one. I have a tube screamer. I have a Timmy just for some light overdrive. Then I have 3 different Mesa Boogie amps. I have the Mark II clean channel, the Mark II overdrive channel, and then the Mesa Boogie dual rec for my crunch. And that allows me to get 3 different flavors of Mesa Boogie style, clean to overdrive options. And then I also have some kind of auto volume delay sound and a cloud reverb and some other stuff. So even though it's a different unit, I've essentially set up a very similar tonal palette that I just typically use all the time. It's very rare that I need like a chorus pedal or a flange or a phase. More of a tremolo kind of guy. And if I'm jamming with friends, it's usually going to be like some kind of blues rock kind of thing. So I don't need a phase or a flange pedal for like Van Halen tunes, or a rotary sound for like Black Hole Sun, or just whatever, right? Now, if you're in a cover band, then yes, you may need way more sound than I ever will, and therefore you might want to make a few presets that accommodate your needs a little bit more than mine would be. And you can do that with all the different units. So it's pretty easy. All right, we got some people watching, but no one is chatting in the comments. So come on. I know you want to ask me a question. I've been here for 37 minutes with 0 questions. So come on, guys. I need y'all to step up. I mean, is it my face? Is it the beard? Am I just not cool enough? I mean, what's going on? It's probably what it is. I'm just not cool enough. That's what it is. So, all right, fine. If y'all are going to be that way, then I'm going to put on a backing track, and I'm just going to do some jamming, because that's what I do. Let's put on a little Top Secret OVD. Now, there's tons of overdrives that you can choose on the Helix, but this one just had that instant like thickness to the sound. It also sounded really good when you boost it with a tube screamer, so I just went with that and was fine with it. So. Okay. Now, on my website, I do have a headrush bundle that you can look into. Let me go to that real fast. Let me go to my website. The front end of my website. All right, so here's my website. You can get a music production course for $97. You can get a headrush, tone sculpting, clones, tone sculpting course. But you can get a bundle, a headrush bundle that includes all those, all 3 or 4 or whatever of those. And there's anatomy and music if you want to learn more about music theory and how that applies to all instruments, not just guitar. Doctors prescribe backing tracks, which is 52 tracks in there. I did 1 per week last year. So anyway, I'm going to choose a backing track. And yeah, let's go here to products, all products. I'm in the back end of my store here. I don't know why I'm so tired. Probably because I stayed up late and then I woke up really early. That's probably what it was. Let's try this Boss Groove in F sharp minor. I don't remember what it is, but... Okay, here we go. It's thinking. right, cool. That's pretty fun. So these kind of backing tracks, honestly, even if you're not even if you're not at the level, I mean, maybe I'm not at the level myself, but you can easily, let me go here. So if you want to work on chord changes, for example, right? Let me go to a clean sound. All right, clean sound. All right, so maybe I want to work on my F sharp minor chord. Yeah, so you're just strumming, and then you want to go to your D, A, F sharp minor, then back to your E, down to your B section, which is your E chord. Right, so if you just want to strum, then that's a good way of doing it. We finally have a question after 44 minutes. Thanks, guys. So seriously, let's do this. Is there a rig on the HR Cloud you can share with the community? Yeah, you can look under Doctor McFarland. I currently have my Headrush on. Let's go to Cloud. And then let's browse. Let's see here if I can turn on my camera here. Search. Doctor McFarland. Yep, so let me show you what I got going on here. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. So if you search for Doctor McFarland on the cloud, you get a Doc Dual Core and a Doc Dual. So it's basically just a dual amp preset that sounds pretty good. And I could... What happens if you hit the play button? I don't know. It does something. Maybe it plays like a predefined riff somehow. I'm not exactly sure. Nothing's coming out of the Headrush at the moment. Let me go back. Let me go to global settings, go to audio, guitar out, mic dry, level, audio out. That's a practice tool. USB audio, Bluetooth. Yeah, it's supposed to give you some kind of way to preview the rig. But I'm not seeing how to do that at the moment. So, yeah, I pressed play and it didn't play anything. So, I'm not sure why. Like if we go to Al Joseph, for instance, then I hit this one. Will it do it? Oh. Maybe if I turn up the volume, that would help. Yeah, nothing's coming out, so not sure why that would be. Reassign looper, remaining storage, yada yada. Audio out, stereo. Yeah. Anyway, Doctor McFarland, you can find me on there. And I mean, I don't do anything special on the head rush. I just pull up some amps and some cabs and choose some effects and just start playing, you know. But there's a lot of good options on my website, and I do go live once a month. And I need to load the ones I just did on Friday. Was that Friday? Yeah, I went live on Friday for Head Rush. So I got to get those uploaded to my website. And it is really just a good way to donate to the channel. Don't give me super chats or any of that other stuff. Just go to my website, purchase a product that you can get some benefit from, and that also, you know, puts money in my pocket so I can do things in my free time that I enjoy, and be able to pay for my website, pay for Ecamm Live, which is how I'm going live right now. You know, these things aren't free, so I try to, you know, money don't go on trees, I guess. I've tried to search, but I don't see any money trees anywhere. So. Andrew Collins looking to buy a Players Nashville Telly. Is that the one with? Well, I know a Nashville Telly has 3 pickups in it. But maybe you're talking about the Player series. Let's see what we got here. Players. Nashville Telly. I would probably get one. Here's a Players Plus. I like the Sunburst one right here myself. If I have an option. Which I do. I do have an option. Alder body, maple neck, Palfaro fingerboard, and 3 Stone Cold pickups. Sienna Sunburst. And a 5-way switch, I'm assuming. I do like the blue version. This is pretty nice. But this is not going to come with stainless steel frets. And at this point in my life, anything that doesn't have stainless steel frets is dead to me. I just don't want to play and then have to get fret dresses and then fret replacements and all the stuff. So, now buying this guitar for $929 and getting stainless steel frets put on at your local guitar shop for another $300 to $400, that would probably be worth it for me. You know, find a guitar that you like and then just upgrade it with stainless steel frets, and it will literally last forever. And yes, you're paying $300 to $400 now, but it saves you the $100 in the future from getting it fret dressed, and another $100 to getting it fret dressed again, and then another $100 to getting it fret dressed the last time before you have to totally refret the whole thing, and now it's another $300. So you could possibly spend $600 to $700 over the span of 10 years or whatever. Because you're constantly playing out and you're doing things, just using it. And so technically you're saving money up front by getting the stainless steel frets, and not waiting till and the gas it takes and the time it takes to get all that work done on your guitar. It might be gone for a week, and now what are you going to do? Just all the things that stainless steel frets doesn't sound that great up front, but when you look at the long term, and like all the work that you have to do on guitars to keep them intonated and keep them playing correctly and all the stuff. I just assumed just to buy something with stainless steel frets and be done with it. Or like one of my Reverends, for instance, the Air Sonic on my Reverend. I love that guitar. It's a very cool guitar. Doesn't have stainless steel frets. And even the minimum playing time that I've had on it, I can already tell there's like a little dip in the fret where I've played on it. You know, just where you play those D chords and your A chords and your whatever. So I just prefer stainless steel frets. You might prefer otherwise, but that's just me. So, but yeah, I like the blue, the opal spark. It's kind of cool. I think the play button allows you to sample the rig by playing your guitar without actually downloading it. Ooh. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So let me get my cable here. I'm going to try this out. Yeah, because I can't imagine there being a... Alright, so now I'm on the Headrush. Let's go to Headrush Cloud. Let's go to Al Joseph real fast, and let's try out this lead sound. It's thinking. And of course, all the rigs are just way too loud. Okay. Let's try this clean one here. Alright, cool. So let's go and actually search for my Doctor McFarland. So here's my Doc Dual Core. Which, since it has 2 amps in it, is probably defaulting to the clean amp, and that's what you're hearing. Okay, let's try this one out over here. Yeah, it looks like you can actually see what the rig looks like, which is neat. Now this is a stereo rig, and it has a Fender and another cleaner type amp. And then it has a Marshall and a Soldano amp in there. So that's kind of neat. Let's click on this one here, see what it looks like. Okay, this one's a lot simpler. But we still have the, let's go ahead and download it. Doc Dual Core 2. So I'm downloading, and I've renamed it slightly to do whatever. You have previously downloaded this item. Would you like to download it again? No, I don't want to download it again. Let's go to My Content. And, oh, I see. My Content. Where does this thing show up? All right, so you kind of just have to Doc Dual Core. All right, so there we go. Derek is from Michigan. Hello from Michigan. All right, and then we can hit the scene button. We have a vibrato on the clean amp. And then we have a JRC overdrive. Would I do anything different? I would bring the level all the way up. And then turn on some pitch delay. So this is very similar to my Helix rig over here. I have some vibrato, some pitch delay, or just some delay. Two different sounds. I have a clean and an overdrive sound. Then I can still kick in my JRC overdrive. So now if you want to go alter anything, like I want to maybe slow down the speed of the tremolo. Something like that. Sounds nice. And maybe I want to go to my dirty amp and let's crank up the preamp gain. Okay, cool. And then I can save that. And there we go. Now notice with any of my rigs, they're gonna, well, you can't see it. With any of my rigs, they're going to really hit somewhere below that 0 mark. That could probably come up just a little bit more, maybe another 2 dB. Okay, we can save that. Now the Al Joseph one that I just tested, it probably had everything maxed out and it was just way too hot. And there's literally no reason to do that. So now since I have the rig volume at right about 0, I do keep the main volume here on the unit, just right over here. This one over here. This one is set to about 8 on the dial out of 11. So yes, technically you could slam the output of your rig and then just turn down the main, but I don't like doing that. I like to keep the gain staging nice and consistent. So if I know all my rigs are hitting that 0 mark, then volume wise they're very consistent, and then I can just set my main output on the dial to about 7 or 8 and know I'm hitting the preamps on the mixing board at church or a live gig at a consistent rate. Not rate, but just a consistent volume. I would go in and name this. I would change it to amp XY. And that lets me know. And then this one can be red, and this one can be blue. Because that's how I'm saving the settings, or switching the scenes is using the 2 scenes per switch. Right? I could even go in and maybe boost the volume of this just a little bit more. Maybe not. I'll keep it down. About right here. Just trying to keep a consistent volume. And this is the Lead 800 TS mod, which does sound pretty good. Turn the treble up. Then Tube Screamer. Now what's cool is if I want to go directly to a sound that has the vibrato on, I can go ahead and kick it on now, and then when I switch my scene, there's my amp with the vibrato on. Maybe I will make that a little bit faster. Then I can choose to turn it off. Right? Maybe turn down the intensity a little bit. All right. It is 5:07. I gotta get to fixing dinner for the kids tonight. Because the wife is out doing adulting things, and it's all up to me tonight. So thankfully, most of the kids are old enough they can kind of watch themselves, but the baby's napping, and I don't want to leave them alone too long. So as always, you can send your questions and inquiries to my Instagram, to my Facebook Messenger. You can send me a message. Actually, let me show you. If you go to here, where is it? Maybe it's because I'm already signed in. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I'm already signed in, but you should be able to see like a little messaging bubble on the bottom of my website. So you can send me a direct message that way, and I'll be sent an email from your question or response. And then I can reply back to you via the website as well, or via the email. So yeah, just any questions you have throughout the week, send them over, and then I'll just compile them all, and I can start answering those next Tuesday when I go live at 4 p.m. Central Time, and I'll go for about an hour, which I've done today, and then call it good. So we talked about some Helix stuff. We played some Headrush tones. We are playing this gorgeous Kiesel guitar here. This thing was a really good deal, also, by the way. Really good deal for what you're getting. Fender is not going to make something cool like this. They just won't do it. This thing is great. One more time. That's just wow. I love that flame top. That is nice. So anyway, Doctor McFarland, subscribe, click the bell, comment, do all the things, give it a thumbs up. And we will see you in the next live stream. So keep rocking, guys.